just move after that. So when the bottle will start moving, it will create a cavitation its bottom, where it was connected to the water, because the water just stays in its place, and the bottle starts going down, creating a vacuum inside, and it will be a high temperature, like the one that SE talked about in the propellers of the boats. It's a high temperature cavitation that will boil water instantly.
Another way to describe the boiling is off-gassing. That's why when we say the film and their mythical moon landing, beautiful film pictures, that's why I say that's a physical impossibility because of off-gassing.
In the text chat, I sent a short about that cavitation that you can make in the bottle. You can break the bottle with it. Just a little bit of force on the top, and you can break the bottle.
Yeah, you're talking about hydrostat.
Yeah, I see.
See, it comes down to physics, right? Their make-believe model just doesn't jive with physics. It's very easy to disseminate it. Very, very easy.
Yo, I see.
Yo, bro.
What's up with Canada fucking taking out some fucking proper Americans' electricity? You saw it?
I told you, don't mess with us, bro.
Yeah,
We're not
okay. Dude, it's
toothless.
like dude, I think like 5 people didn't have electricity because of Canada, dude. Relax.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Like five rural Americans were like, oh shit.
Well,
And their generators.
wasn't enough to cause the press to back down?
No. The fuck you mean, dude? He literally Trump just came out and literally I'll read you the motherfucking thing. My man. So yeah, I think like um hold on, let me see. So what do you call Canada? Who's Doug Ford? Doug Ford?
He's one of
Some
our
Canadian.
premiers.
Right, so he goes, if necessary, if the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I will do whatever it takes. I will fight like I've never fought before to protect Ontario. And Trump responded, or it's like there's a post, is Canada just shut off electricity for some Americans, and now Trump is promising that they will pay an historical financial price. And he goes on, Trump's tweet, or what he said was, why would our country allow another country to supply us with electricity, even for a small area? Like I said, 5 Americans, bro. Who made these decisions and why? And can you imagine Canada stooping so low as to use electricity that so affects the life of innocent people as a bargaining chip and threat? They will pay a financial price for this so big that it will be read about in history books for many years to come.
Yeah, it
And that's
will.
just
It will show how the president has to back down because he's a big bully and he messed with the wrong country called Canada. That's what the
yeah,
books are
dude.
going to show. Yep.
5 people went without electricity, bro.
Yeah.
Relax.
Where are you getting that number, bro, from?
I don't even think so. I think actually, hold on, I think it's like AP, dude. It's 5 people. I'm only kidding.
Well, I heard the governors of those states, and they were pretty scared, bro. They were crying like
Yeah.
we don't want to
Bunch
do
of
this, but if you're gonna threaten us, bro, I told you from the beginning we have more weapons to use against you than you guys have against us, bro. But I don't want it to come to that, but we will win this
nobody,
war. There's no doubt
nobody,
about it.
nobody needs canola oil. And first off, the fucking thing is, dude, that what's fucked up is that you guys are sitting in this little entitled position because a bunch of globalist people were in power, and all these tariffs. You guys have had tariffs on our country that fucking have existed, and we don't have tariffs against yours because. And so what all Trump is doing is returning the favor of what Canada's already been siphoning away through globalist fucking bitch people who just gave up the goose for a couple of months, like so their generations of families would have money. Like this was like, they like Canada's already been taxing us. Like we've been fitting this bill. And then you guys are going to cut off people's electricity because we're going to say, hey, let's not do tariffs on each other. You guys are the one that have had tariffs on the US. All we're doing is returning the favor, and you guys are crying about it. And then turning off someone's electricity over it. Damn, bro. Canadians have no work. When did you guys stop becoming Christian, bro? The
I
fuck
love
happened to you
I
guys,
love
dude?
those
You guys,
American tears. Like it's beautiful, right? We told you
my
don't start
tears.
this. Don't
No,
start
we don't
this
care,
war
bro.
that you can't win.
Have you,
You
yeah,
gotta,
yeah, can you
bro.
spell?
Can I
Yo,
answer, or you're gonna get triggered?
yeah, yeah. Hold on. Have you heard of Genetrack? I think it's Genetrack, right? The fucking the generators. We got generators, bro. We don't need your fucking shit. The fuck out of here. Nobody needs Canadian anything.
Bro, you got to understand, right? Um, we didn't start this war, right? But like I told you from the beginning, we have the tools to make you
Asshole.
guys hurt, yeah, and to make an aggressive,
No.
obnoxious man. Yes, the whole world is
Right.
gonna slap you guys, bro. Just
You dye your hair blue this morning, bro? Yo,
you see,
dude, fucking
you can't let him finish
hold
the
on, bro.
sentence. That's how triggered you are, bro. Go
I'm
on,
not
go on.
triggered. I'm fucking pissed off that you don't understand that. Like the U.S. has been paying tariffs already, man. Like all he's doing is leveling the playing field, and these fucking people are losing their mind because they're not gonna fucking make as much. Like, bro, you understand? Like that's what I'm saying. Is like Canada has fucking been fleecing the United States because the people who ran the United States were a bunch of bitches who took their money from China, same way as Canada, and fucking. And they've they've been given these golden deals. All Trump's doing is leveling the playing field, bringing it's like a dude in an abusive relationship finally standing up for himself and leaving. And everyone's like, "Oh, he's a horrible fucking person." And then, it's like, dude, like, you don't understand. Like, and you're like the angry fucking housewife that's like, I want the alimony. And then, da, 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 it's like, the guy's like, yo, dude, go get a fucking job. You know what I mean?
Don't
Like,
mind me, bro.
that's exactly what it's like, dude. It's like, and then you guys are bitching and moaning because we're not going to just fucking pay all your bills every month for fucking nothing. It's
Okay, you
fucking,
got
that's
my
what's going
issue.
on.
Can I say something now? Please try not to interrupt me, bro. Because what I'm gonna
Fuck
say is
you. I'll
gonna be
fucking
very slow.
interrupt when I please, SC. Don't fucking do that.
It's cool, bro. It's cool. If you feel you need the need to interrupt, you go ahead. Check
I'm
this
having
out,
fun.
right?
Go on.
So now this president of yours that's bitching about this bad deal, right? That the Canadians are being taken advantage over, blah blah. Well, guess what? He's the one that made the deal, bro. So you got to understand the irony behind this and how dumb your president is, right? He's the dude that signed the deal that he's wailing on about right now. You get it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think his first administration, I don't know. He probably had his own thing going, and they did it had to be this. Like, I feel like it just had to be this way. But like, I don't know, man. I think America's just standing up for themselves, and that's what's going on. And everyone's like, "Whoa, no," I'm crying about it. And I think it's gonna fucking, give it 6 months. We'll see who fucking sticking around.
I think if you're a true patriot, you'd buy a Cybertruck and endorse Elon Muskie.
That's the beauty about America, bro. You got patriots like Issa, right? I love this dude, right? He's like a patriot all the way, but he's just misinformed. That's all it is, man. But we need patriots at this point in time. We need a lot more of him. But you just got to get informed, bro.
You're
That's it.
misinformed, bro. You know what the problem is? I'm not misinformed. It's just you guys are dealing with the same rhetoric that Alex Jones was talking about in 1998, dude. That's the thing. You know what I mean? It's like since revamped, like shit has moved on. You know what I mean? Like, and you guys
You
are
said
over
you
here
got
still
old
like,
truth, bro, and it's stale.
right, you got old truth, bro. Like, dust the shit off that fucking argument. Like I said, 1998 wants its arguments back. Like, I just feel like fucking same thing, with any of it. Like, this shit is wild what's going on right now. It's so wild. Anyone who doesn't fucking dig it, I don't know what to say. I think, dude, Greenland might become a part of the U.S. It'll be called Red, White, and Blue Land. The Gulf of America. It's amazing, dude. I'm loving this shit. I'm
Wait,
down for
why
I'm
would
down for
Greenland become
expensive
part of the
eggs, nigga.
U.S.?
I'm down for expensive eggs. I don't give a fuck.
I don't understand. Why would Greenland become part of the U.S.? They're part of Denmark, aren't they?
Right, and they just had an election or some shit. I'm not too sure exactly how it's all panning out. I've read a couple different opposing arguments, but like, yeah, because it's like a strategic. Like they're basically owned by them, and why would they be a part of that government if they could have better benefits under the United States? And that's what Trump, I think, is proposing. And I think it may have been on their ballot, and I think it may have been something that people voted on. I don't know exactly. I'm not looking into the claim, but yeah, and it'll be called like Red, White, and Blue Land. How fucking wild. And he already did the Gulf of Mexico shit, so. And it's so funny, I saw a good meme of like, it's crazy how like dudes that want to be called Cindy like have a problem with the fucking name change in the Gulf of Mexico, you know?
You should write a script, bro. I got to give you one thing. You are funny. You know? You are funny.
Oh yeah, it is. It's fun, dude, I think like it
He said,
literally.
"What did you dye your hair blue this morning?" That was fucking classic.
It's so fun. Yeah, man. I think it's like what interesting times. I mean, even though it's all kind of like I remember one time I went to a Ron Paul rally or whatever. I was interested in him back in the day. And I just shut up and if everything was just caricaturized. Do you know what I mean? It's all TV, it's all fucking it is so fucking weird. You know what I mean? The whole political fucking landscape, man. Like in the way that the people move and the way that they do it. It's fucking weird.
It's amazing, bro. Like if you look at it from my perspective, a historical perspective, right? I'm a fan of history. What I'm witnessing right now, if you see it the way I look at it and the way most people that are into this stuff look at it, what we are right now is we are in witnessing like the fall of Rome, right? We are in the fall of an empire. We are the people that we think, I wonder what they were saying when the empire is falling. We are it, bro. This is it. You get what I'm saying? This is a unique time of perspective in history, and we are in
No,
it.
I agree. I think we're living
Is
through
he?
the fall of the West and the rise of the East.
Yes,
200
exactly,
years from now,
master.
it'll be
Yes.
China in charge, not us.
Super
Is
gay.
is it?
Super
Is
gay.
this the
Nope.
Empire Strikes Back SE sequel?
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
Nah, fuck that. This is Return of the Jedi, dude. The Empire Strikes Back was Biden and Kamala being in fucking office. So I think this is Return of the Jedi type shit. And I think everyone who's like it's like, it's like these Bitcoiners, right? Like it's I tell you, very interesting what's going on in the fucking crypto world. And I'm noticing that like these Bitcoin maxis, there's gonna be it's so interesting, man. Like, cause I think they're gonna fucking try to collapse the dollar because these Bitcoin. I forget the guy's name. He's somewhere from another country or something. He's got an accent. I forget his name.
There's no collapse in the
When he
dollar,
talks to,
SE. The
real quick,
dollar died. It just hasn't had the funeral yet.
hold on. So this guy gets into how like I don't believe that. What do you call it? So the this guy's telling he's telling like the American audience that everyone's got to fucking buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to be so fucking valuable. It's better than gold. Give up your gold to buy Bitcoin. Blah 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 blah. Then he's turning around to the more European, more Eastern minded fucking people, I guess, is the idea that like, all these countries are buying gold and need to store gold and whatever like that. And like Bitcoin is just like gold fucking hustle. Like it's so fucking weird because China also owns the most Bitcoin. And if fucking it comes out that the 4 Satoshis were actually fucking DARPA, it'll collapse China's economy if Bitcoin drops. Boom. So fuck the East. You got no idea what we're
Well,
fucking
thing
talking
about
about.
Bitcoin, dude, right, is the price is dictated by two separate variables. One being power. So whoever controls more energy, more electricity, power, ultimately is going to have an advantage on on Bitcoin. And then the other is what the fuck was the other one? I think it was just
Oh,
holdings, token holdings. Whoever holds the most, right? And right now, I'm pretty sure that's like you said, Satoshi. So yeah, I mean, if it comes out that Satoshi's actually I don't know, Jack Dorsey or China or something along those lines, whoever it comes out to be will collapse the price of Bitcoin, dude.
well, yeah, this is what's
So
got me thinking that is like, I'm thinking like, imagine if, and it's already happened almost. So we could almost like, I feel like it's so weird. Like, I feel like it's so du jour. I almost feel like it's irresponsible to talk about it. Like I mentioned it earlier this morning, but the idea of like, dude, what if Bitcoin was just fucking created by DARPA to do exactly what it's doing right now? Get China to think it, get the FOMO going, get everybody to fucking buy in, and like it's just all it's a hustle from these sailor character. Like they're gonna sell all their gold or sell all that Bitcoin when it goes up, buy gold and get out and try to collapse the U.S. And the U.S. in turn is like, haha, nice try, bitch. We made it. You fucked up. And they're gonna fucking return it. It's gonna be the triple Jew bluff of the century. Asia's gonna eat a dick because they bet so hard on fucking Bitcoin, and all these crackhead fucking Bitcoin maxis are gonna eat a dick, and XRP is gonna fucking run the ledger, and we're gonna move into the future, making America great again. Fuck the world, dude.
that's what I'm talking about. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep, I'm fucking. That's how I see it, bro. And like this fucking whole shit, they think the white man be dumb. Oh, white man stupid. This shit and the other thing. We just fucking, I don't know, bro. People ain't
You
as dumb.
fat lazy lead neck.
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah. People think that about the US and all that shit like that. They don't know. They got no fucking clue. And that's all that and that's perfect. Thank God. It's like when people come in thinking flat earthers are stupid. Thank God. Get out of my way, don't bother me, you fucking uninteresting motherfucker. I'd rather not wait. I don't know. I don't mean to be a dick, but I am a dick, and I also feel like it's relatable.
Lound eye lead neck.
No, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Classical denial, right? Seeing no disrespect,
Denial.
Isha.
What
Like I
point?
said, I
Hold up.
love
What
Isha,
point?
but he's like in
No, no, no,
classical
no, 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 no.
denial. Yeah, yeah.
What
You're
point?
you're in you're in La La
1998
Land, bro.
wants. What point did I
I don't
make
believe
that
so.
is
I think
fucking
Issa. I
off
think
base?
Issa's making big points, dude. I think what Issa's saying is a huge possibility, dude.
No, but here's the score, right? The evidence all around you is that the empire is collapsing, right? From the fiat money to the people on the streets to the people coming into your borders to the wars that are going on to your government being manipulated by another government to taxes going up to food prices going up, and all you're saying is, "Oh, it's all good, bro." That's a
Hey yo, do you know
classical
who?
denial right there.
Hey
Classical.
yo, check it out. Check it out. Have you ever read like the Odyssey? You ever read the Odyssey?
Huh?
Do you know who Ulysses is?
Indeed, I do.
Okay, so like Ulysses, right? When he comes home, right? What does he dress like?
What do you mean? What is he dressed like?
I
He
mean,
has
Like
when
a
the
he comes
fleece,
pimp.
home,
no? Is it
when
the
he comes
fleece?
home at the end, when he comes home at the end of the book, what is he like when he's gonna take his shit back? What does he come home dressed as?
It's been a while. I can't really remember. Refresh my memory.
And then, well, so he comes back his home and his whole world, his house is under like, order of these fucked up people and all this shit's going on. And like, it's like he sees like, some of the members of his old guard having to kind of like relent to these group of fucking vagabonds that have taken over his fucking house and fucking all the shit, right? And the dog recognizes him, if I'm not mistaken. And the dog freaks out on, you know what I mean, and recognizes him. But he comes in as a beggar, dude. He comes in as a fucking like he totally dressed up like a fucking beggar. And he comes in hidden and masked because that's how he had to do it. And I'm just saying, like when it looks like the price of eggs are going up and this, that, the other thing, it's like fucking the Patriot when they're sitting there, or I don't know, whatever fucking. It's like when they're like, hold, don't fucking shoot, hold. These motherfuckers are running up on them and they're like, hold. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone's like waiting to fucking shoot, and it's like they're just like just fucking wait, and that's where we're at. And we just took the office. We got the fucking Senate and the Congress. It takes a minute to run through the shit and fucking I don't know, man. I'm telling you, them contracts are up like I've been talking about for years. It's really the only reason I'm hopeful about it. We used to laugh about it being the golden age, and then this motherfuckers out there, yeah, it's the golden age. Talking about it's the golden age.
So
I'm like, yo, it's fucking wild, dude.
so the whole SEC lawsuit versus Ripple, I found out yesterday that it's not the SEC trying to reappeal their original appeal. It's not them stifling this. It's Ripple.
It's Ripple,
Ripple's
right?
actually, yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to get a better deal because they realize that the SEC's got nothing, and the SEC is still trying to pursue $150 million out of Ripple, and Ripple's like, dude, you don't have a fucking leg to stand on, dude. So let's
Hey, yo,
settle for a little less.
and that's how you know, like Ethereum and fucking Bitcoin are fucked. Like, are
Oh yeah,
totally just like psyop coins.
oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because like they've had no fucking scrutiny, no SEC trying to come at them. You know, it's
No,
so interesting in that world. It's
XRP is gonna dethrone Ethereum, dude, in a very short period of time, dude. So they're gonna take the number 2 spot, and then next is gonna be Bitcoin. And I've already told you guys, what the fuck's going on with Bitcoin.
see, but yo, man, you
Um,
know what though? I think in the short term, bro, Bitcoin gets up there. Bitcoin's gonna get up there, dude. Bitcoin's gonna. I'm telling you, this is
I like I
beyond.
like I've said for years. I said I could see Bitcoin going to $250,000 per coin, but eventually we're gonna have a Bitcoin apocalypse when it's found out um, the synonymous correlation between Tether and Bitcoin. As Tether prints more coins, Bitcoin's price goes up synonymously, which should tell you that they're coupled in such a way. And when it comes to be had that Tether doesn't have the holdings they claim to actually have, the physical holdings to support their market manipulation, Bitcoin's going to come tumbling down, dude, and XRP is gonna basically take the number 1 spot. That's what I
Yeah,
see
but
happening.
there are other people who buy Bitcoin besides people who pay with dollars. So Tether is only dollars. Why does that have a big effect on Bitcoin? Is there are market forces, but they're not tied in any a formal way together.
If you were to take a price chart of Tether's minting of their stablecoin, and you were to overlay that with the price chart of Bitcoin, you would see they're synonymously related. There's an issue there. There's an inherent conflict of interest there that has not been addressed yet. And when it happens, it's going to create a crypto Armageddon.
About the thing that I keep telling you that you guys like, well, you mostly, you don't want to address that. It's irrelevant what happens with this because the BRICS are making their own SWIFT system. In other words, their own ability to trade amongst each other. And the dollar is just going to fall. Gone.
Yeah, the
So whatever
dollar's
you
dead,
have
dude.
based on that is going to be obsolete, bro. It's going to lose like half of its value or whatever.
Well, I agree in a big portion of what you said in the sense that the dollar's done for. Like I said, they just haven't had the funeral yet, but that doesn't mean America's done. So that's the part you got to understand, SE. How crypto's going to come save the United States. You're not willing to see that part.
How can crypto save the United States? Because the only reason why you have the good things you have there is because you're able to give your worthless dollar for goods. But once that shatters, you won't be able to do that anymore. You won't be able to buy goods at cheap prices. You're going to be paying 3-4 times. And with the genius president you have now with the tariffs, that's going to start even before the dollar collapses. This is going to hasten the dollar collapse. So you're being led by a complete and utter moron who has no idea of what he's doing, bro. Listen to any economist, bro, that's worth his salt, right? He's going to tell you exactly what I did. You're just hastening the destruction of the empire by these stupid moves because you guess who pays the tariffs? The people of America. You every time you cheer for a tariff, that means you're cheering for more taxes, for
Bro,
more
you
expensive
guys
stuff.
already put tariffs on our shit already. What we're doing is we're just tariffing you back and being like, ha, there we go. We're even. And you guys are like, that's not fair because you're even now. And you have a bigger
Negative,
economy. I mean, you
negative.
guys have a bigger. You don't. Oh, no. Hold on. We have the fucking biggest economy, my man. You don't. In
We didn't
comparison to
say
us,
that. That's
and
not
in
what we're saying.
comparison, right. What I'm saying is that like our economy would flourish or will flourish, pardon me, when we bring manufacturing back here. And I think that may take a little bit of time. The tariffs may take a little bit of time, but really, it's like I said, Canada's been taxing us. We're taxing back, getting even, Steven, and you guys are upset about it. Shutting off people's electricity. Oh my God.
No, I told you what happened, and you're not listening. Once again, you're not listening. Your bonehead president made an agreement
1998,
with
dude.
us, and you're going to cut me off, right? It's because you know what's coming, right?
In 1998,
Your
bro.
your bonehead president made this deal that he's wailing about. It's just that you're not intelligent enough to understand what I'm. I told you like 3 times this now. It's your president that made this deal that he's wailing about on Canada. Do you
All right,
understand that?
yeah. Okay, so you got to hear my response again, and then we could be done with this conversation. I said my conversation was that like the first episode of Trump in office was he bettered the economy, didn't deal with some of the like these issues, and didn't go full bore because if he did, he would have been politically fucking hemmed up. So he didn't do those things. He didn't address those tariffs. He didn't make a lot. And I guess he did have some tariffs in his first administration, but regardless, he did a little bit of the evening of the playing field. I think. You know what I mean? So like my point is that it's like same thing. I think there's a little more to it, nuance. I don't think he was going to start tariffing the shit out of everyone and have everyone freak out like they freaked out now, even though all he's actually asking for is like it to be even. And Canada has now since fucking turned off people's electricity because shitty deals were made that made them reliant upon Canadian electricity. And now Canada's going to fucking suffer for it, as Trump just said in his tweet on the 11th, I guess was yesterday or whatever the fuck it was. The 12th, I don't know. But yeah, so they shut off some people's electricity, which isn't what fucking Trump has been doing. He didn't cut anyone off from fucking medical supplies and shit like that. He's just fucking, you guys fucking shut down electricity, which is fucked, possibly a UN violation. That'd be great if we fucking sued you in court. And Trump's fucking tweet said it's going to be something they're going to read about in the history books. So I fucking wonder what he's going to do because CBS just paid him a shitload of money for fucking violating the bullshit. And I think it's fucking on, dude. I don't know.
Those are sweet tears of regret that I'm hearing, and I love it. Yeah, stop
Tears of
bullying people,
regret.
bro. Stop
What do you
bullying
mean regret?
people. That simple. Tears. Those are tears, right? That you just said, right? Oh, you got off our electricity. Yeah, well, stop bullying us. Stop
No,
insulting
we
our
don't care.
prime minister,
No.
and you won't have
That's
to
a
feel the
moral,
pain, bro.
brother. That's an ethical dilemma that your country did to ours. We didn't do something like that to you guys. You guys did that to us. So therefore, you've committed the moral atrocity, not us. Therefore, what Trump does next is I don't know what he's gonna do, but it wouldn't be fucking so bold and so evil as to turn off people's electricity. And I'm not complaining, or I guess I'm complaining about the policymakers prior to Trump that would ever put an American on a Canadian grid somehow.
You
So
want to
I
talk
don't know,
about?
man.
You
But
want
I
to
think
talk
that'll
about
be
evil?
well. No, that'll be corrected though, and that's what I think
Yeah,
is
it
cool.
will be
What's he?
corrected. Your
But
president is going to tuck his tail behind his legs and he's going to cut it out. That's the only way. You're not going to bully your way around, bro. Those days are over. You just have to learn to
I don't
live with
even.
other people.
I don't think you. I don't think you understand the extent of the bullying that's about to happen. That's the
Bring it
thing.
on. Bring it on, bro. Just bring it on.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what to say, man.
You're going to see. You're going to have to eat humble pie soon, bro. And I'm going to be here and I'm going to tell you when it happens. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it, bro. You got to get this American
Yeah, no,
exceptionalism
no.
out of your
I
head,
mean,
bro.
well, no.
You
I
got to
just
get
think
it.
like
That's going to destroy your country. The
I
beauty
think it's
thing
just like
about Yeah.
you're an angry girl at the bar trying to get two guys to fight. That's what's going on, and I just think
No,
that
no, no.
it's what it sounds like though. So like it's just that I think when ultimately this is said and done, I don't know if Canada's going to be too happy about whatever Trump's going to do because he wrote about it that people be reading about it in history books, which I wonder. And maybe you're trying to like laugh it off and say, oh, because it'll be the biggest blunder. But I don't think so because it's not the way that it seems to be rolling right now. Things seem to be going in the direction of like better for American prosperity. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
think
the
it's been
girl in the
kicking.
bar is you because I'm the guy pointing out the bully, right? I'm saying, look, see that bully there with the orange top there? He thinks he can threaten everybody, but he picked on the wrong dude in the bar, and that dude is called Canada, and he's gonna slap his little face, right? And that's what's happening right now. And you're gonna eat humble pie, bro. And not only that, China's gonna slap you, and all the other countries that you put tariffs on, they're all gonna slap you. Wait, the slaps are coming, bro, and it's going to be
Hold on, hold on. Let me
beautiful.
get this right.
Beautiful to see
Are
the
you trying to
bully get
say?
slapped. Oh, I'm going
Are
to
you
love
trying
it.
to say that you don't sound like an angry girl at the bar right now trying to get two people to fight? Because it's
Exactly.
exactly
I'm
what you
pointing
sound
out
like.
that you're the little
That's
girl
who
at the
you
bar.
are.
Yeah.
I'm not the little
First
girl.
of
I'm
all,
saying,
Americans are great. Americans are great at slap boxing. For one, for two, I heard Canada just took off the tariffs for the electricity. They backed down from that.
Yeah, because your boy backed down. That's why. Look into it. Before you talk, look into it, right? You
What?
threatened us. We threatened you back. Now you're crying like little girls because we're going to threaten to cut out your gas, your electricity, and we're going to put counter tariffs. You finally went up against somebody that you can't bully. That's what's happening.
yeah, you're like the angry girl at the bar who's like up in some dude's face, like you're a pussy and you're dead.
You
That's
see, and you
exactly what
have
you sound like.
females like Isa doing this stuff right now, not seeing the what's actually happening. You have the little girl Isa
And
crying
you're
at
a
the bar.
bully too. And you're a bully, and somebody should beat you up. They are going to beat you up one day.
That's right. You're following a narcissist bully. That's right. You're following a narcissist bully, and the whole world is going to tell him, no, sit down, Orange Man. It's not going to work. It's going to happen with the Russians. Watch. That slap is coming soon. Watch.
Dude, I want like a cartoon made of like some girl at a bar like totally yell at somebody and you speaking what you just said. Like,
Yeah, picture Putin. Picture Putin, half the size of your carrot top, telling him, sit down, bitch. It ain't going to happen. Nothing's going to happen in Ukraine. We're going to get our way. Watch. Watch what's going to happen. The
I mean,
American days
Trump's
of bullying are over. You guys are going to have to start eating some humble pie. And those days are happening right now.
Trump's not even worried, bro. The guy standing behind him, his arm ain't even that arm you see. That's not even a real arm.
Get with the program. Stop following a bully. Just admit the guy's wrong. You guys are not with him. You believe in human rights. He's a megalomaniac. He's gonna drive you to ruin. Just understand that he's a false prophet, and you'll be good, bro.
His real arm's underneath his jacket, holding the Mac 10.
Nah, he's going to a toilet in a gold. Like he's sitting on gold, and he's convinced you guys that he's fighting for the common man. Yeah, and he's bringing the empire to ruin faster. Like it's amazing to see that you can still support a person like that. It's amazing.
You want the real empire to come out of retirement, did you, Owen?
I'm just saying, if I had a guy following me around with a fake arm, I wouldn't be worried.
Look, man, either see reality or don't. It's up to you guys, man. I'm done arguing with people that just don't want to see reality, man. I mean, your country's in ruin, bro. get to it, get to the program, understand the problems, fix them, or just live in fantasy la la land. It's up to you.
I just had this image of Trump taking the Florida peninsula and slapping it all over the Great Lakes and just keep beating them. Just like,
Yeah, we're about to rename We're about to take Greenland and rename that shit Red, White, and Greenland, or Red, White, and Blueland.
The empire is over, bro. The days of the American calls the shots are over. That you blew it. You were the top country after World War II. The whole world loved you. Instead of doing what China is now, helping countries build, and you just went there, drained their resources, screwed them over, broke every deal you made. And that's just how empires are. You're not the only empire to do that. Britain did that before you. All the empires did the same thing. The Dutch, the Spanish, and look at them now. They're nothing. That's what's going to happen to you guys if you don't straighten up. It's as simple as that. You either see it or you don't.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not like any of us in here are calling the shots. So
DLSC, you think like China's just going to take over?
They have already. Like I said, you're sleeping at the switch, bro. China has taken over already.
Okay.
And not only have they taken over, Isa, you gave it to them. Your country, your people, your manufacturers gave it to them. The history books that you refer to are going to be laughing at this part of history because it's never happened before.
if
You
it
gave
plays
it
out
to
like you
them.
think, it may not play out like you think, though. So
Yeah, may not. It could be, you could regain somehow your power, but the way you're going, it's like you're on a bus heading downhill, no brakes, full steam, and you're saying, "Yeah, we're in control." That's what's happening now.
Isn't it just a projection, I see? Didn't Trudeau kind of just, you have a new guy that's just like Trudeau in Canada and you're really frustrated? I don't know, bro.
What do you mean? Be more specific.
Don't you have a new prime minister who's exactly the same as Trudeau? The same party and everything, or am I misunderstanding?
Yeah, you are misunderstanding. You're partially right. What happened is we have our prime minister, Trudeau, resigned, and now they brought in a new guy to take over, but he's technically the prime minister, but we're having elections soon. So he's
Okay,
just
okay.
a standby kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so Trudeau kind of stepped down. I missed that part, so okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah, he
understand.
resigned because he's a clown and yeah, nobody likes him. And yeah, he's
Yeah,
just a Gmail. See how
such
easy it is for us
horrible man.
to go against a dumb leader? Very easy, right? See what I just did?
Yeah.
I'm not like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
SC, no,
like a
hold
little
on, hold on,
girl in a
hold
the
on.
bar.
difference is,
Yeah.
though, Trump's not dumb. He's the fucking man, bro. He walks around like he's the man. He does manly shit. He's out here pushing in chairs for other world leaders like
Hold
he's
on,
the man.
hold on, no. Outside of our regard and hopes that he becomes an emperor here, what do you call it? I'm just saying, like if you look at it, like, what the fuck? I was gonna make a point about the, like, just, fuck me, okay,
He's out
forgot.
here touching
You
people that
just
ain't
heard
supposed to be
Trump, man.
touched. He's touching Arab sheiks and shit that you ain't supposed to touch. Like he's just
Oh yeah,
he's
no, I
not
got it.
he's not like your little femboy Trudeau.
And you know what the thing is too, Essie? Americans opposed like Kamala and those people when it counted. Right? Like, you know what I mean? It's not like we're like, bootlick. Like we were like, haha, suck it up. We got the first black woman president, dick. Like we weren't like that about this, right? In here. We were like, hey, we don't like these people. We want some other change. And now we've actually voted in somebody that is who we wanted, the people that he's at least represented the values of people that freaking that voted for him. So like, there's a time and a place for not liking the government that's installed, and this is the first time I think in history I've ever been like remotely interested and willing to participate in this particular political movement against the opposition, which I see it as the opposition is who you're complaining against. The thing is, you're superimposing the hate you have for George Bush, which is right, onto Donald Trump, and I just think this is like I think Trump's one of the first characters I've actually thought had a chance to bring things back to anyway and resemble anything I want. You know what I mean? So I just don't. You calling us out like we're licking the state's boots is totally wrong. Like in my estimates, unless it's the triple double Jew bluff, and I'm never gonna understand. Whoop-a-doo. Like I don't know, but this is what it looks like, and it's pretty dope. What's happening?
No, I'm just pointing out what's going on in the world stage and how you guys are playing in it, and it seems to me that you're just not seeing it.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. I mean, no one's here is a gypsy fortune teller, so.
There are signs. There are signs that things are that they don't change really. Maybe they change superficially and they close the border, they open the border, but things keep moving down the road of tyranny, it looks like. SE might have a point that is, I fell for the Bush thing, and I'm definite, and I know that was wrong. Now he was evil, and the whole situation with 9/11, all that. But the Trump thing I fell for too. But now I'm getting the vibes that nothing's going to change. We're not going to get we're not going to get anything declassified. We're not going to find out anything. I remember everything that Trump said in the last administration about declassifying all that. And so it's really contradictory, a lot of things. And the one thing is, I'm a small business. I don't know how many of you guys are small business, but there's a thing called the BOI that's out now, and this doesn't pretend is not as big as Bitcoin or any of that stuff, but it is pretty big. What it says is that all businesses of any type have to start filing with the federal government from now on with FinCEN, which is the financial criminal arm of the IRS. FinCEN, they have a new website up, and all businesses must, by the 21st of this month, give them all of their information, banking information, their suppliers, everything, because they say that they're doing this to go after the cartels and money laundering. This is how they're going to go after money laundering. And guess who's exempt from it? Big companies like Walmart and other big companies are exempt. Small businesses, every one of you have to sign up and give all of your information to the federal government. And if not, then you're going to get fined and put out of business. And so I think it's just another way, just like during the lockdowns, they didn't really have the arm to go after small business. They tried to shut down as many small businesses as they could. Well, now they're going to have a government financial arm with all your data and everything to go after you personally. And
So the man that's gonna take care of the world and everything is just turning his eye to apartheid. What do you think about
hold
that?
on, SC, because this had nothing to do with Trump. This was in operation before Trump even got in there. And as a matter of fact, it went to court, and there was a hold on it for 6 months. Now that hold it went to a higher court. It was reinstated. Now it's back on. Now you have to apply by the 21st of this month. And so, yeah, this had nothing to do with Trump. But my bigger point is, I don't think anything has to do with the president, whether it's Trudeau or Trump or France, or I think there's a group above them that's calling the shots. And I think, yeah, maybe they do play around here and there, but I don't think anything's going to change really. I've been hoping for it. There's something Rush Limbaugh used to say all the time. We vote them in, and they sit on their hands. They never do anything. Here we are. We fight for 4 years. We get the Republicans in. They get the House, the Senate, and the president, and they don't do anything they said they were going to do. They completely shill and back down. And we're seeing it right now again. And I had hopes that Trump wasn't a Bush. He wasn't, I love Reagan, but he wasn't a Reagan either. He was independent. He's not part of the parties. Now he's part of the party. Now he's part of the system. And he's playing along with it. That's what I see, guys. And I'm all for America as much as any of you. But I'll cash out now. Good conversation though.
Yeah, so you're saying it's all scripted. So you're saying all the things that come out of his mouth. This is why I say you guys you give them a lot more credit than they deserve, right? You're gonna tell me that everything that comes out of this man has been scripted by somebody.
No,
That is
I'm not
not
gonna
a
say Trump
megalomaniac
is never going to be a
full of
scripted
himself.
person. Sorry about that. Trump is not scripted at all, but I think he's still on that side of things. You know, he's playing their game, if you will. We're the slaves. They're the puppets, and the controllers are above them.
Yeah, okay, we get that, right? We understand that. So what are you saying now? He's a puppet, or he's not doing any of this stuff, or is the whole script of screw up the whole world?
I
This
think
tariff
that if
thing is
the,
all planned. You're saying somebody
I
planned
think
this? Because if they did, they want to bring your country down. Whoever planned that.
okay, well, you might have a point, but what I'm saying is that both Trudeau was told to step down, so he did. Trump was allowed to do what he's doing. He wouldn't be doing this stuff if he wasn't. He's part of the system. You can see that now by how everything's playing out. I had hoped that when he came in on day one, this would happen, like they said. Day two, you know, all this stuff. But as that starts to fall apart, and as you start to see them obfuscate on releasing, you know, we're going to release the documents. Well, they said they would release the documents, and they did. They never said they would release the truth, right? And so they're playing word games. And Trump said the same thing in 2017. So anyway, one of those, when he didn't release the JFK, he said we couldn't handle it then, you know. And so now here it is again. Oh, there's the second shooter. That's all we get. We don't get the truth, of course, because that would implicate. We all know who that would implicate. I don't even need to say it.
Right now, tell me anything of what you just said. Right, dispels what I'm telling you, trying to tell you, put through your heads, Americans, that your country is falling apart
Yeah,
and
but you're
your
taking the
are running it.
nationalist
Which part of
angle.
that doesn't make that true?
Yeah, but you're taking the nationalist angle just like they're taking the American nationalist angle. So you're both wrong, right? And I think we all need to step back and say they're playing us, you know, and we shouldn't be fighting amongst each other over the, you know, the tariffs over this and tariffs over that. I'm telling you that's all being done at a higher level. I promise myself, I can't promise anybody else, that from everything that you guys taught me over the last year and everything I've known before, and all I watch so many shows that it's unbelievable trying to keep up with everything. But from all of that, it shows me that nothing's changed and nothing's ever going to change. And I'm just as disheartened by it as anybody. I really wanted this to change. I really want to change, but it doesn't appear that way. Hey, if it happens tomorrow, I'll stand corrected. But it doesn't seem like anything's going to really change. Superficial stuff.
Hold on. If you're talking about the way the government works, yeah, but you don't see the change that I'm telling you, that your country and my country are going down the tubes. They sold us out to the east. You don't see that. You don't see that. That's happening right now. Men think they're girls. Girls think they're men. Our whole way
Yeah.
of life is under attack.
Yes, but who is pushing that on both of our countries, all of our countries, the whole world? Who's pushing it on the whole world? You know,
No,
and
no, they're not pushing it on the whole world. No, China doesn't go for that. The Russians are clearly stated. That I heard the foreign minister say just yesterday, as a matter of fact, with his speech, with his meeting that he did with Judge Napolitano, he said we're a Christian Orthodox nation and we reject that. So I don't know where you're coming at. The whole
well, are they
world
still part
rejects
of the
all that.
Antarctica
Don't
Treaty and
interrupt
all
me.
that?
Don't interrupt me.
I'm sorry.
The whole world rejects all that. There's only a few handful of countries that are going for this nonsense.
And they're still part of the Antarctica Treaty. They still play along with the space race stuff. They're still involved in all that shenanigans that we all know is a bunch of BS. So, I mean, is it just a world stage playground that they get to play on? But nothing else really matters. I don't even like, we don't believe in nuclear weapons, right? Or some of us don't. And, you know, so I mean, I've been gaslit my whole life, and I'm being gaslit by Trump administration right now. Pam Blondie, come on. all this stuff going on. I really hoped Cash Patel would go in there and do something, but I'm just getting a bad vibe. I don't know if anybody else is getting that vibe too. Maybe I'm just picking up on something that other people aren't.
What bad vibe, bro? Your country is sold out. Do you not
Yeah,
understand?
hold on. Like, let the American.
Infrastructure, the corporations are running your country, bro. There's nothing to not understand. You've been
See,
sold down the river. It's very
let the
simple.
let the Americans talk. Hold on, yo. So like, when you say it's like a slow roll, I think it's like, or forgive me, like when you say like frustrated about what I think it is, and I honestly think, bro, there's more of a slow roll to this. You know what I mean? There's something that like I just think like you're not gonna like I would ask anyone, did you think like day one, they would be able to get like we're what, 50 some, or I think it's like that's what I've heard a week ago, like 50 days into the thing. I just think there's a lot more going on at stake, man. I think there's a lot more intrigue and espionage, and it's just like everyone's got a knife to everyone's throat in the espionage world, and they're just like, oh, let's just chill for a sec, So, I think it's way more nuanced than people would like it to be.
No, it's not, bro. It's very simple. We are the sheep. We are
Okay.
being run by the people. We know exactly how they're doing it to us through the lobbyists. They're controlling us. We know exactly how it's happening. It's just that we're powerless to do anything about it because the way the system is. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. We know.
I have a theory. There's one way out of this, and that's mass information or the great awakening of flat Earth. I think that would change everything. I think that's the reason why every time it starts to rise up, the government start going crazy. Hey, war! We need war. It just appears that way. I've watched things astutely over the years of my lifetime, and now that I'm got the flat Earth knowledge and all the other knowledge you guys have disseminated to me, now I'm looking back at my life and seeing all the things that I was gaslit and plagued over, and I'm seeing the same similarities playing out now. I'm hoping out for hope, but I can actually, what is a coincidences just don't happen, and you can always see what's happening. The whole government, the way they're shifting the BOI, it's and the burning down the cities, it's the 5-minute cities, whatever. That's all for a reason. We're moving toward a one world order, and like SE says, we're all in. Well, he doesn't think China's involved in this, but I think the whole world, it's a world order, and I think they're all involved in it, Russia included. I wanted to hold out hope that Russia wasn't involved or whatever, and they were like being the one nation pushing back against transgender, which they do, gay transgenderism and all that. We don't want it, no part of that world, right? So there's all these things out there, but we know from the truther community, at least from my perspective, with the history, the false history, and the false science, the religion, and everything being, you go through time and you start to see, the airships, everything just points to flat Earth. Every conspiracy or psyop out there you can relate or has a connection to flat Earth. So I think if we wake up, if the more people if we can get it in these schools and private schools, flat Earth's a thing, and which is happening right now, is discussions. I think that's the way we wake up the world. How long will it take? Do we have enough time before the 15-minute cities are here and we're all rounded up? I don't know. I hope so.
What do you mean we're all rounded up?
Well, the New World Order has a plan, 15-minute cities, right? And so you won't be able to drive your car past a certain amount before it shuts down, right? And you'll be opted into a financial system where you have to play in the system or you'll be docked or fined. It's a system of control where we're slaves in our own communities, even more so than we are now, right? And we think
But
we're
how
not.
does that relate to being all rounded up? What does all rounded up mean?
Okay, well, if they burn down the cities, right, and they have let's say that there's an attack, and the government comes or the UN comes to your door and said, "Hey, it's not safe here." Because I live in Florida, hurricanes, they try to push you out of your house when you're like, no, I want to stay. It's going to be a tropical storm. By the time it gets here, it's land, it's tropical storm. You left your home, you got robbed, everything come back, everything. Anyway, so they will say there will be a natural disaster. Do you think our government can't create natural disasters? There'll be a natural disaster where they'll come to your community and say, hey, it's not safe to live here. Come on, everybody move. And you'll all have to, we'll all be eventually herded to the
Okay.
1984
And when
scenario.
they have all these people packed up, what are they going to do with all the remaining land?
Whatever they want to with it. If you really believe in the outer,
With what
well,
people?
if we believe we're in Middle Earth and there are other lands out there, maybe there's a plan. I don't know. I just know that we're being controlled, and that this was their written plan to have a one world order, right? Like
Yeah.
this.
If I can have 2 seconds, my friend. Sorry to cut in on your conversation there. Thank you for the words of enlightenment. You are speaking the truth there, and that's excellent. I think China is an example of what you are actually talking about, because they do have this credit control system that they've got in place already. And China is part of that one world order. Please don't think they're not, okay? And as for rounding us all up, that's correct. When he says round us all up, they've got us under their control. When you round something up, you have it under control, and that's what he meant by rounding everyone up, because we're now rounded up
that
slaves
sense, we're
and under
already
control.
rounded
That's what I'm
up.
trying to say. Thank you very much.
In that sense, we're already rounded up then, because we're already under their control, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what he's saying. He's just emphasizing that. That's just an emphasis on how easy it's going to be with the technology that's coming in. AI is going to be assisting in that as well. So it may be used for our good, for ourselves privately, if we can utilize it. But the government will be utilizing it to the max control mechanism. Okay, as a control system, a tool, should I say? But sorry to interrupt you. Excellent words of enlightenment there. Thank you very much. And Flat Earth does
You're welcome.
expose all the lies. And now I will now go on mute. Thanks a lot.
All right, so where can I find this evidence of these inner Earth civilizations that are going to use this land that's available?
Speculation that there's outer lands past the ice wall, not inner Earth. And if there are civilizations, all right. So there's some report that some of our senators actually travel to Antarctica, and there's been GPS trackers that go on ships through Antarctica and other things like that. That just, we don't know what's on the other side of that because we're not allowed to go past there. But I think that in the past we did. I think when we had hot air, or not hot air balloons, but blimps, before that was, I think our government actually has state of the art blimps right now. That might be what they're using as war platforms in the sky, so high we can't see it, and then mirrored underneath it. I think that stuff does exist. And I think our government knows everything, but we used to, at one point in time, were able to travel this entire realm with airships in luxury, and now you can't travel to Antarctica or land there very far in. And if you do, the strict structures, you can't even pee there without putting it in a can and bringing it back. So it's weird, right? And they want it set up that way. But you have to believe that there's a reason why they cut that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry to cut in there, because I just wanted to touch on the extra land, and that's, as you said, that's purely speculation. We don't know. Obviously, people of high position like your presidents have gone down there. Okay, we don't know what they're doing down there. Are they speculating? Are they extracting minerals or whatever for themselves? We really don't know. And you have to keep emphasizing that. That there could be extra lands, but we don't really know that. All we know is that we're being corralled here. We're being restricted from going to the place, okay? And that should ring an alarm bell, okay? Purely speculation on the extra land. We just do not know what's out there. That's how I feel, and we must always emphasize that, okay? But we are being blocked from going there, and you can go there through organized tours, and then you are restricted as to where you can go. You can't go anywhere by yourself. You'll be accompanied all the way wherever you choose to go, and if it's restricted, you can't go there. And the protocols are in place. But you can travel to these places. You definitely can. Some places you don't get to see that ice fall. You go to where the penguins are and places like that. More of a touristy kind of feel to it. Okay, bear that in mind and be careful of Don't be pushing the extra land as it's a thing and it's a possibility. Well, it's a possibility, yeah, but it's not a fact, is what I'm trying to say here. Because that does come up, and we new flat earthers coming in have to be very careful. Please stick to the speculative side of it, but we really do not know at all, and even what they're doing down there, to be quite honest. They tell us this, but is it true? Sorry to have gone on there. Thank you.
Think what I think about the most about all of this stuff is the bigger picture. What's the big picture? You know, what are the people? If it is the if we're anti-Semitic for talking about what Israel is doing or has done, and what they're influencing being done in America right now, and what's happening across the world, are they part of the elite cabal that's the New World Order? It just, this is the part that kills me. I don't think they are, but then again, I think they do, because it's so much power they have influence over America. It just takes me back to right before the election, Benjamin Netanyahu in at the United Nations calling all of them anti-Semites, but after that he said the biggest anti-Semitic group in the world right now are flat earthers. And he said this at the UN at a podium with a flat earth map right above his head. And so I keep, and then I see him with Trump day one, and making the concessions that he'd made, and all of that stuff. And it just disheartened me instantly on Trump. And I just started focusing laser on everything that he's doing, and his administration, and the people that he's chosen to put in these positions. Again, a lot of us were like, whoa, not that person here. Choose Massey or someone else, right? And then no. It's got to be 100% Israel first all the way through. And then you have the Speaker of the House, the Senate, and it just becomes very clear that nothing's going to change, because these are the same people who have been voting the same way for all these years, and they're just going to, the Epstein files will never see the light of the day, and all this stuff. And that tells us something. That's a big tell, right? That, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
be positive, but that's a huge tell and what's going to really
Well,
happen.
yeah, actually, you're correct. Sorry to cut in again. Yes, because I like what you're saying. Yeah, you're speaking some good points there. The fact that Netanyahu said that flat earthers are anti-Semitic, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening in the Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, Ruskin, that's to tell you how desperate they are to try and stop flat Earth. Now, when they're putting out words like that, we are a formidable force, is what they're telling you. That's the truth. We are exposing the truth, and as the young man just said, Earth exposes everything else. Because when you put the flat Earth filter on all the other problems that are on the Earth, it's going to get exposed. Okay, if you apply the same logic as to how you got to the flat Earth and start looking at all the other problems. Okay, so nothing's going to change until, as I've always said, we the people have that revolution. That's the only way it's going to change. And you can't have this revolution without the army, the navy, and the air force on your side. We have to make sure that they are the cannon fodder, and they need to stop being cannon fodder to keep the elite and corral humanity. They've got to realize that our revolution is not going to work without the navy, the air force, and the boots on the ground, those Marines and commandos. Yeah. Once we've got them under our back to society, realizing that they're dying not for us because we're not benefiting. In fact, what you're doing is you're corralling us. We're now being corralled by you. So if you can stop that, because we're paying for it, if you can stop that, and then let's take out the cancerous governments that are controlling everything, then the revolution begins. And that's the only way change is going to come. Without that, the man is saying the truth. Nothing's going to change. It's going to get worse. They're saying flat earthers are anti-Semitic, flat earthers are anti-vaxxers, etc., etc. Sorry to have gone on. Thank you very much. Carry on.
I'm prior military and an army brat. I've lived in Germany for 4 years in the 80s. It's pretty exciting. I went to Berlin Wall before they took down the wall. And so I've seen a lot of things, even young, all the way through. But to see, to become a flat earther and from a space junkie from hell in such a short period of time, and see exactly, to be elevated consciously with all these truths that we're finding out, it raises your consciousness up where you can't be lied to or fooled as much anymore. I think that's sort of happened with me because of my delving into the Reagan era, the Bush era, and even beyond that in history, a history buff. But now all that's been flipped upside down, and I've been able to step back and question everything, friend. You know that slogan we've all heard so many times, and that's what I've done. And I've come to the conclusion now that the only thing that would wake up the military and the people and the governments and to be able is mass awareness. Like the Great Awakening is flat Earth, and that's what it is. I find myself in my Christian forums or post, your Christian friends will post stuff online, your old Christian friends post stuff online, and you go onto their post and you comment, hey, by the way, the earth is flat. You got a globe there in your post, praising God for it and all this. Yahuwah. And then they get all mad and incensed at me, but some of them block me, some of them don't, some of them interact, and just trying to change people's minds. It's very difficult. You guys know more about this than I do. I'm 1 year into this, and like I'm a newbie. Oh, what it's like to be a new flat earther, as was told. But I love it, and I love telling people about it because it's the truth, and truth just excites me and invigorates me. And that's what this whole channel is about. I love it. What I don't love is the circular arguments where you have these people in here that seem like they're a Fed or something, and they just want to throw smoke constantly around in a circular pattern where nothing ever happens. It's like they're sitting back laughing, saying, how much of these people's time can we corrupt, And so I think we need to keep our feelers up for these type of individuals who clearly are there to just take up space and throw smoke. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys know these people more than me, but having listened to Jaron as long as I have, I never thought he would come around to say what he's saying now. That doesn't mean he's a controlled opposition or anything, but it does appear like maybe he wasn't before, maybe he is now. There are people who evolve into that, I guess, but it's rare going from flat earth back to, we all know that. So anyway, I'll shut up. Thanks for listening.
Well, we welcome you to the server if you're new to the server. And thank you for your words of enlightenment, of course, because there you are, ladies and gentlemen, new flat earther. And look at how emotionally uplifted he is. And he's trying to help all of us realize that, there is something wrong here, and let's try and do something about it. Let's be aware of it at first. First becomes the awareness of it all. And then slowly but surely we'll work out a way of trying to remove this problem, right? Step by step, slowly. I said about the military earlier on. When I talk about the military, I'm not talking about the generals, the ones that are higher up that send the men to go and die. I'm talking about the ones who are sent, the soldiers themselves, of no rank, right? Or maybe up to sergeant, perhaps. Yeah, okay? Because the sergeant is like the brother of the whole unit. Okay, he keeps it all cohesive. Right up to that rank, they have to understand that you're not facilitating freedom. Because when I've asked the military myself, when I've been on holiday, places like Saipan, Guam, Hawaii, Los Angeles, and I've spoken to some of the military, I've said, show me the freedom that you are killing, you're dying for. And they can't, because I said, no one's free here. And they knew that I was right. And some of them have said that they're looking to get out. Okay, well, good luck. Do get out, because there's no point in it at all. You're not really helping humanity here. You're not. And that's what I'm talking about. The ordinary foot soldier, the one that dies. He's the one that has to put down his weapon, pieces coming like that, and then leave it for the generals to go and fight with their families. go and fight the war that you started, because we never started it. Remember, there's been many cases where the soldier has been sacrificed. And look at where we are today. We're corralled. They died for nothing. Noble. I'll give them that there were noble men because they thought they were doing the right thing. But for nothing. Look at where we are today. Today, a baby is going to get born. It will reach the age of consent, and it's going to carry a debt that he or she did not somehow, what's the word I'm looking for there? Amass. He didn't amass that debt, but yet he's lumbered with it. Now, that is unfair, completely. Child is born, and it's going to be born into debt. Come on. Okay, people? It's a joke against the creation of earth and life itself and the human being and everything on it. For when you devalue the human being, you're devaluing everything else. Everything else is devalued. Everything. I'll stop there for now, ladies and gents.
You're probably right that the military is the younger generation, mostly the people you're talking about. And I would say a higher percentage of them are flat earthers now than have ever been before. And same with all this upcoming generation too. Lots of them are more open to, and they're also open to the deception that's been played on us. They're open to that. So that's why they're, I think, more open to flat earth. And they see a lot of the shenanigans now, the fakery and the moon landing and all that. They've learned that from other people in their family, because people talk about this a lot, actually. And so the younger generation is more open to this than the older generation, for sure. And we're going in the right direction.
I agree. They probably have experienced far less programming, trauma-based mind control than us adults. So they're less susceptible. I totally agree with you, Scott.
Trauma-based mind control.
Thanks, Scott. Sorry, thanks, Scott. And another thing, the two most ridiculous events that have happened most recent, that would be last year, of course, was the insurrection of January 6th. That was a joke. That was just a ridiculous thing. And then the assassination on Donald Trump, 2 attempts. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, if you can't see through that, you're making it difficult for us to reach you. That's all I'll say.
Great point. I felt a little bit of the rah-rah when Trump stood up and held his fist up and survived. I mean, we all kind of want to rally behind that, but isn't that trauma-based mind control? Isn't that what they've done to us so many times? And not to think that they're doing it again. It's just, I didn't think so at the time even, but now I'm having, maybe it was trauma-based mind control.
Yeah, definitely. It's the continuation of the PSYOP, no problem. The thing is, right, I just couldn't, I was surprised that they would try that. Americans call it hamming up. I think it's cringeworthy, and they hammed it up. They're making it easy for us who are awake to pick that up straight away. Because I knew that the insurrection was not, if it was a real one, they would have had a new government that day. A real revolution is a monster thing that once it starts, you can't stop it. And you would have had a new government that day. So we knew it was all theater. Okay, because they want to make the idea that democracy is worth protecting. Because that was the thing. He threatened our democracy because remember, they've got to sell you in the United States and the world, because we're all watching. The world is being fooled at the same time. That you have democracy when you don't. You've got dictatorship. That's what you have. Tyranny, dictatorship, enslavement. And now they've got to change that and deceive everybody that you've got the idea that you've got 2 parties and you do actually have freedom. You don't. No one's free here at the moment. We are all enslaved on this earth, everywhere. The people who are truly free are the ones who are living in the bush, who don't have a laptop or a computer or any car, and they're just walking around, living on earth, coexisting with nature, and they have real democracy, and they have real freedom. You understand? They're the ones. Okay? And when you tell them that they went to the moon, they laugh in your face.
Yeah, you said it. Theater, right? It's theater. What's that thing about the cave? The allegory of the cave? Yeah, something like that. You're right. It's all theater. And if we look at it that way and we see what they're really doing behind the scenes, it's completely different than what they say. And we just got to keep our feelers up. And that I think that's what's different now than any time before is that I see a Candace Owens reaching millions and the comedian that's out there, you know, she was doing an interview with last week, millions of views on that, and she was pushing back hard. And so there's even on Joe Rogan, even though we might think him as a controlled opposition or someone who just sold out or whatever, but you know he's now breaching some subjects that he wouldn't breach before. So there is progress in the areas of people out there getting information out to millions and millions of more people, and those kids that we talk about, we care so much about, that we want because they're coming up. They're really is what going to inherit this new society, and if they have questions about flat Earth, then that's a great thing for the future if we make it there. But that's the whole thing about burning down the cities and 15-minute cities and controlling us and hurting us. That's the whole thing. They control the money, you know, and where we shop at and where we can shop and how far we can drive, and then we're done for already. And that'll never, that future that we're pining for will never happen, even though that we're continuing to try to teach the young kids what's right and wrong, the truth here, so we can climb out of this hole. Whereas a lot of people think that we're going in the right direction, and it feels like that when you're looking at the surface stuff. But it's the other stuff that plagues my mind in the bigger picture. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, thank you again. Great words there coming out of Scott. Um, Basically, when you speak of the 15-minute cities, now in England, I think it was 2 years ago in Oxford, where the flat earthers destroyed Oxford at their own university, by the way, back in 2018. But that's another story. Basically, they tried to introduce these 15-minute cities, okay, and the Oxfordites just pushed back. They pushed back against it, and they had to do a 180. So that the local government there had to do a 180 and stop it completely because that was not going to pass. Yeah. So they did try it two years ago, and it was stopped in its tracks due to people just petitioning and protesting, and outside town hall everywhere, and it worked beautifully. So no one wants that. So at least that's a good thing, because we don't want to be controlled. You got to get a permit to go beyond 5 miles of where you live or whatever. How silly! Get out of here.
If it happens here in America, it will happen because of environmentalist reasons or something like that. They'll say the water's bad or whatever. They'll force you out because of that. There's already laws that I think Biden signed or something with the United Nations that says if there's a natural disaster in America, that gives them carte blanche to come in and whatever. One of the things is to remove our weapons in the areas that, because can't have the United Nations coming into unsafe areas. So our military will have to go around and take out the weapons first, and then the union. It's these scenarios that are written up already. Right. And, you hear sometimes Alex Jones talking about this because he really reads and researches the stuff, and which is great. But, he doesn't buy into flat earth, which is weird, and we all know that his reporter was shot and killed outside of his home, right? And that the all the threats going on. So that's the the two-pole bipolar system that's going back and forth, and they need that to keep their control. They need people, yeah, rah rah this way and rah rah that way. And that's what I see that's starting to spark up. And Trump's doing little things, or his administration maybe is doing little things that will incite people here and there on the other side, which is inevitable in some ways, is going to happen anyway. But when they really push it, and they're even inciting people on our side by some of the things they're doing, right? The free speech, anti-free speech stuff about you can't talk about certain things anyway. I'll shut up. I've seen the post where you're a terrorist now if you're anti-Semitic or whatever. That's the same thing as being a terrorist, which is crazy for our administration to be pushing stuff like this. There's a quote of Trump actually saying the complete opposite and signing a law in 2016 than what he's doing now as far as the anti-Semitic stuff. It's weird.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. I just remembered what I was going to say. I had to remember what I was going to say to you, and that is that technology, certain countries, people are embracing it because of the way they feel that it's giving them some freedom or something. Yeah. So there's one problem that we have to overcome, and we also have to overcome the programming of division. That was my main point: the programming of division, because that's also a little bit of a stumbling block with people. I don't like him because he wears a turban. I don't like him because he smells funny. I don't like her because she's got a funny hairstyle. These sort of things have got to be buried and got rid of, because we need each other in this all over the world. And that's the thing. So the programming of division has to stop, and then together we can rise up on the same page, because that education, that once it hits like you know what the flat earth is doing for you. Once people realize that the governments of the world, that all across the earth are teaching that same program, that we're on a globe and we're not, that should be enough to fire up this. Enough is enough now. That's the end of this nonsense. Let's remove it. Look at what we paid, and the people that have died that didn't even realize as well. All those people that died that didn't even know. Wow.
Yeah, I think if we get the women involved, for instance, we have to start letting them know that they're lying to children. Organizations like National Geographic, PBS, they should start to bring at least start some maybe anger from these mothers uh, that are allowing these companies to promote their propaganda, lies using science. So I think if we get the women involved, uh, it'll help. Like for instance, I know the women did a strike back in the day where they didn't sleep with their husbands or something like that. But I think they're going to be the key to this help. I mean, the key to the struggle to get people in power to do the right thing. I mean, I think there's really two options, right? We got things could work out for the better for us all, or it could end up like how the Bible describes. So I think if we try to get more people involved, it might help, especially the women.
Yeah, that is my sentiment, and those are fantastic words, because that's been my sentiment ever since the Earthrise awakening for me, flat Earth. That is, back in 2015 when I became a flat Earther. Okay, December 26th, Boxing Day. Ever since that day, I've been saying that the women who we are all born from, they should want to know this, because I noticed there wasn't much interest from the women during the very beginning, hardly any women in it, and they should be into this thing, because you are the vessel from which we come from. So you would want to know. You are the closest to nature. Nature has given you the honor and the beauty of bearing children. Okay, that in itself is the top honor there, right there. You should want to know what you get your substance from. It's earth. What is it? And it's easy. It's not difficult to know. It's not beyond your capability of finding out. So yeah, I agree. Women should be in front, because it sends a strong to the powers that shouldn't be. When you have a whole, force of women protesting, it's fantastic. And I saw that in Australia during the lockdown, maybe again 2 years ago, where the security forces were just slamming down 70-year-old women and that. Okay, they hit the women, and the next time, at the next demonstration on a lockdown where they didn't want to be locked down, the women were out right in front of the police officer. And I mean, if she was speaking, she was spitting in his face, because when you shout, saliva comes out. They were getting covered. They were that close. And the men were behind with their arms folded, waiting to see what happened. Because if the police hit the women this time, they're going to get smashed up. and the police didn't do anything. And I mean, some women were poking the officers in their chest. So when you have a force of women who are angry, hell have us no fury, as they say. I should stop there.
Totally. Absolutely. That's why I think they're going to be a key factor in this transition of truth. So we need to inspire the women, get them to understand what's going on as well and how they can help. And yeah.
They are indeed an important part of the jigsaw puzzle, and an integral part. So they need to know their worth, their importance in this movement, and you should have been in it earlier than now. So come on, ladies, let's get it together here because we do need you, you know. And nothing looks good when you see the women, whoa, you know, on a mission, right? And then this stupid, idiotic security man who is born of woman, so he's totally divorced from that reality. Okay, in his uniform and his shield and baton, woman is just shouting, spraying as she's speaking, poking the chest. Yeah, great, fantastic. That was in Australia. That was the one good thing to say because the rest of it was just a nightmare. But that one demonstration they did was fantastic.
Sounds like a bunch of Karens with some beta males behind them.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't catch it. You went too quick.
It sounds like a wall of Karens with some beta males behind them.
Well, I mean, Karen's.
What's a beta male?
Someone that needs, like, you know, like, you don't know what a beta male is? You never heard of that term? Really?
I know what a beta male is.
I've heard of it, but I've never actually asked.
Okay.
I've heard of it, but I've never actually asked what exactly it is. We went over this one day, beta, gamma, all that stuff.
The person who I was talking to knows what I mean.
Okay, well, the person you were talking to, what's a beta male?
Sounds like a beta male is someone who just bows down to the government, swallows everything they spoon feed them. That's a beta male. That's the people who make it.
Yeah, a weak man.
Those are the beta males. Government pawns.
A weak man. And that in Australia, that incident that I mentioned was women were attacked by the security forces at the time because they weren't wearing their masks. And you're having an old lady at 70 being slammed down by a young security, you know, wielding a shield and a baton, and he slams down a woman by her neck onto the ground. That's over force there, okay? And the men were there now to let the women get their anger out. And if the security did anything to the women, there would have been carnage. That is the scene, okay? A scene of revenge, at women getting their revenge back, because that was disgusting what happened in Australia prior to that incident happening, okay? So that's what that was. So it wasn't a bunch of Karens as such. It was a bunch of angry women. And like I said, you know, hell have us no ill fury.
That's right. And probably one of the reasons and factors why women aren't in this conversation right now is because they feel bullied by men, where men will just try to assassinate their character, and then there's no men to kind of knight for the women. So that's definitely a factor. But I believe women are a key factor in this because the men that are doing wrong in this world, lying, stealing, if they're married, maybe their wife will help them snap out of it.
Women are in this. Women are in this combo. I'll have Redford Bear come in here and mute you all.
Right? Behind every great man is a great woman.
Yeah.
So you think women are better than men?
And you are right in what you said, sir.
It's very progressive of you to say.
Well, I didn't say that. I don't know. That sounds like a straw man.
You said behind every great man there's a great woman.
Yeah.
Which means you can't have a great man without a great woman. So they're dependent on great women to be a great man.
Well, do you want a great man behind another great man?
Well, I'm just saying, if you can't have a great man without a great woman, then the thing that's necessary is the great woman first before you can have a great man. So that necessarily means that there's more amounts of greater woman than there are greater men. That's just, that's very progressive of you.
Great mom and dad first, don't you? Don't you need the man and the woman first to make the man?
I'm just saying that's very progressive of you to say that.
Just to let you know, behind Alexander the Great was a concubine of young, virile young men that he pleasured himself with. So not every great man has got a great woman.
Well, that's okay. So then you don't agree with that? What that other guy said?
No, it's a silly platitude, basically, to say that. It's like you wouldn't say behind it. If you said behind every great woman is a great man, people would lose their shit.
Anyways, dude, change your name, bro. I'm tired of telling you. Don't stop making that your name.
Hey, wait, you didn't finish the whole of the saying though. Behind every great man is a great woman with a great big strap-on dildo.
All right, that's not appropriate.
Yeah, there might be children listening in.
Holy F-balls, that's terrible.
Oh my god, there might be fucking children listening. Damn.
Yeah, you never know, right? You got to be aware of your surroundings, not just be all about yourself in your little
On
dome.
this over 18s Discord. Yeah.
Well, it is streamed on YouTube. Again, probably one of the reasons why we don't see a lot of women here, because the behavior from men, from guys.
I believe behind every great man is probably a great cat. I've got a couple really good cats. Nah, I got a good girlfriend. Her name's Kat.
Oh, nice. But yeah, I definitely believe there's a lot of beta males. I'm glad that was brought up, because if you look at the people in the Ash conformity experiment, 3 out of 4 literally went against their own God-given senses. I think that's what's happening now with a lot of the globe believers. They're just bowing down because, 1, they're probably scared. 2, they're probably just more loyal to the government than to the truth. So there's a lot of reasons. I think there's a lot of reasons.
Hold on, Paza. Eden, I was telling somebody about that last night, about the lines and the longer lines. What's the name of that again? I couldn't remember the name. I was slightly embarrassed.
It's okay. Solomon Asch. So ASCH, Asch conformity experiment.
Solomon Asch conformity experiment. That's a mouthful right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Great demonstration of how people literally go against their God-given senses to fit in. That's pretty sad.
What's the other one where they put him in a wait? Hold on, one more second, Pat. What's the name of the one where they put him in a waiting room? It's full of actors, and every time somebody comes in, all the actors stand up, and then eventually the other guy stands up, and they switch all the paid guys out, and then you have just all real people.
Milgram, I think.
Milgram experiment.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah.
That's a cool one too. That's on like the same level as that almost kind of thing. Like, what are you doing? What are you even doing?
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, Paza.
Well, I mean, it's stretching the definitions
Jeremy,
of what...
it's the same experiment. The Ash experiment, Jeremy, the Ash experiment. Hang on. The Ash experiment is the same as the one Jeremy just explained, where they're sitting down on the chairs.
Then you have an echo, and you just blasted over Paza.
Exact same one. Okay.
Did he even hear you, Jeremy?
I don't know, dude. He'd be listening on YouTube. He'll hear it in 20 seconds. Paza.
I was going to say the definitions of the alpha, beta, gamma, and so on male. They're not so much about social conformity. They're more about pack psychology, in the sense that the alpha males still very much follow social norms quite a lot. Gamma males don't follow them so much. But alpha and beta male is about community superiority and inferiority constructs. They're not necessarily about belief systems. Because if you're going to say that people who believe in something based on faith are beta males, you're putting everyone is religious in the same pack.
All right, Paza, what would you classify flat earthers as if you had to do it like a generalization fallacy or something?
I wouldn't do it that way. It's pointless. There are alpha males clearly in these communities, and there are beta males in these communities.
All right, what do you got me? What do you got me pinned as?
Beta, same as me.
I feel like that's an insult.
It's not really an insult. It's whether people perceive you as a leader, and whether you exemplify leadership characteristics.
So you're saying betas are leaders?
No, alphas try and impose dominance. Not all leaders are alpha males, but alpha males crave dominance socially in leadership roles.
Seems like Jeremy, he's able to take control of the situation.
Yeah,
I've been in
I'm running
enough.
this whole shit, bro. I know, Eden. I'm running this whole shit. What do you?
Yeah,
I
I said to you.
but I mean, I run this room pretty good when I
You lack
got
the
it.
authority, though, Jeremy.
Sure.
You lack the grunt.
But well, I moderate elsewhere, but that doesn't mean to say I'm a leader of men. Moderating a room is just pushing.
I'm also leading people at work.
So am I.
Well, what the fuck, Paza?
But you don't. Well, go look up. Go read out the alpha male definition. I'm in the car.
You're still a beta bitch, bro.
I know. What the fuck? What? Okay, so there's alpha and then beta and then what?
Sigma.
Yeah, the sigma males are the ones that are effectively they share some traits of alphas, but they don't crave leadership, and they're not bothered about other people's opinions about them. They're arguably some of the more socially elevated individuals.
I feel like I'm a sigma.
There's a load of all right. You're a sigma then, Jeremy. Okay, you're a sigma. Okay. Do you feel better now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Isn't this Vox Day, his material? You know Vox Day?
What's up?
He did this whole video about this, what we're talking about, the Sigma, Beta, Alpha. And he describes himself as a Sigma.
Yeah. So don't we all?
You know what I'm talking about, Piazza?
Nobody wants to. I haven't seen it. I've seen several videos of I think Veritasium did one, didn't he, about the social implications of these kind of constructs.
Isn't it like the alpha
nobody
male
wants
of the
to.
Isn't the alpha male of the wolf pack? Isn't he the strong one, the one leading the pack, the one calling the shots?
Yeah, dude.
He is, yeah. Yeah.
But you said they go to social norms. They always fall in the social norms.
Well, by definition, alpha males typically they expect social conformity because they crave leadership. So therefore, they're pretty much about creating constructs of authority, aren't they?
Like
that's a social norm.
I don't know. We're gonna have to make a new category or go over these categories again. I don't like
flatter male. There we are.
Hey, Joe Debs, what do you think concavers are then? Sigmas?
Like I say, you can't clump people together like this on their beliefs.
Trying to say a whole movement is Beta or Sigma or what?
Yeah, it doesn't
Just
make any sense to do that, I don't think.
Hit us with a stereotype fallacy of all flat earthers, and you had to categorize it. What would you put us under?
Beta. Because they're all just repeating the same thing.
That's the
you think so, though?
shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that gets repeated. But what if it's the truth, though? I mean, the Globers repeat all the same shit.
Everyone's repeating shit.
No, I've come up with new shit. I'm like DJ Clue.
Blimey.
New categories. Who was talking about Vox Day? I know Vox.
Do you say DJ Khaled, Jeremy?
No, not Khaled. Clue. DJ Clue. You young boys don't remember him.
No, I know Clue. I thought you meant Khaled. I thought all you do is repeat the same things and add your name over the top if you're Khaled. DJ Khaled.
No, I was saying I come up with new shit, and DJ Clue always used to be like, new shit, new shit.
New shit. I remember that.